Switch on the Bluetooth of the phone. Click the BalliBot icon to run the app. There are 3 buttons on the homepage. The first button is Rifle Setup, the second button is Transmit via Bluetooth, the third button is Elevation and Windage, means ballistic calculation on the app. Click Rifle Setup to enter. On the top row the buttons are Save, View Rifles and Edit Rifles. Enter a name in the rifle name cell. Select Basic for all round pellets. Enter 120 for muzzle velocity, and select MPS for the unit. Enter 0.0433 for the ballistic coefficient. The ballistic coefficient value of a steel ball can be calculated using either of the formulas on screen. As in the photo, the length of the line, A, is the sight height of the slingshot. Enter 15 for the zero distance and select meters as the unit. Click the Save button to save the setup. Click the View Rifles button to view the refile setup. The system can store up to 5 rifle profiles. Return to Rifle Setup. Click the Edit Rifles button to enter the editing interface, to edit the setup information and/or delete the rifle setup. Right now there is only one profile. It has no response when Select Setup cell is clicked. The profile number at the bottom is the order of all the profiles stored. Click the Update button to save the changes, or click to delete the profile. Now the Advanced Ballistic Setup starts the app. Click the Rifle Setup button. Select the Advanced from the drop-down. Enter a name in the rifle name cell. Enter the muzzle velocity and select its unit. Select the drag function from the drop-down. The 3 selections correspond to the shape of the projectiles. GA for Diablo airgun pellets, G1 for blunt or round-nosed flat-base bullets, and G7 for a spire point and boat tail bullet. Then enter the ballistic coefficient value, enter sight height and its unit. Enter zero distance and unit. Enter bullet diameter, or its caliber and unit, and then enter the bullet's weight. The unit G is for grams and G are for grains. Enter the length of the bullet. Then select twist direction of the rifling. Finally, the twist length of the barrel. The standard length is 10 inches per round. Click the Save button to save the setup. Then click the View Rifles button to view the rifle setup. The newly set up rifle profile is at the bottom of the list. Return to Rifle Setup. Click the Edit Rifles button to change setup. The profile number at the bottom is to change the sequence of the rifle profiles stored. Click Update button to save the changes. It can be uploaded to a BalliBot product, such as the rangefinder when a rifle setup is done. Click to run the app. Click Transmit via Bluetooth button. Turn on the BalliBot laser rangefinder. Click the Start Scanning button. Allow Bluetooth connection if any pop-up message shows up. Then start scanning for BalliBot Bluetooth devices. If the rangefinder is turned off, press the range button again to turn it on. Click the Connect button to connect. It turns to the settings page, and the Bluetooth icon appears on the display when Bluetooth connection established. Click on the rifle name to select a profile. The corresponding profile number is also displayed. Then proceed to select the calculation units and the reticle units. First, if the units of the scope turrets is in mils and the reticle units is also in mils, then both units should be selected as MRAD or mils. Second, if the units of the scope turrets and reticle units are both in MOA, then both units should be selected as MOA. Third, if the units of the scope turrets is MOA, the reticle units is in mil, and the scope turrets are rotated to shoot, then select MOA for the calculation units and MIL for the reticle units. Fourth, if the units of the scope turrets is in mil, the reticle units is in MOA, and the scope turrets are used to shoot, then select MRAD for the calculation units and MOA for the reticle units. Fifth, if the units of the scope turrets is in MOA, the reticle units is in mil, but only the reticle is used to shoot. Then, select MIL for both the calculation units and the reticle units. Sixth, if the units of the scope turrets is in mil, the reticle units is in MOA, but only the reticle is used to shoot. Then, select MOA for both the calculation units and the reticle units. Next step is to input the true mag power of the scope. When the scope is at the true mag power, then one grid of its reticle is equal to one reticle unit. The unit can be either MOA or MRAD. For example, if at 10x power, one reticle grid of a scope is 1 MOA, then the true mag power of the scope is 10x. If at 8x power, one reticle grid of a scope is 1 ml, then the true mag power of the scope is 8x. The correct true mag power value is required to calculate the reticle grid's values of the scope when it is at different zoom power. Then select the wind speed units from the drop-down menu. Then select whether to turn off the weather sensor on or off. Normally, it is enabled. If it is set to disabled, then the weather sensor of the rangefinder is turned off. The ballistic will be calculated with average weather conditions, temperature 15 degrees Celsius, air pressure 100 kilopascals, relative humidity 78%. Finally, set the temperature unit to Celsius or Fahrenheit. After all settings are completed, click the Transfer Data button. It takes some time to transfer. Just click it once is enough. Then it cuts off the Bluetooth connection. The profile number icon on the display of the receiving device will flash 8 times to indicate a successful upload. Profile upload completed. No need to use the phone again as long as there is no need to change the rifle profile.